Thank you, Bernard, for such a nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great conference so far. As I was reflecting on my own experience, as Bernard was saying, and thinking about what I could bring in terms of value to you all this morning in terms of executive sponsorship, I realized that since the latest 90s, all the role that I've occupied always had a mandate or a passion for what I call customer centricity or key account management and strategic account management, independent of the title or the geography I've worked in. Today, the technology is everywhere. Everything is connected, and I would say everybody's connected. Everybody is multitasking or trying to. There are probably some of you doing text message, tweets, and email at the same time than listening to me. Hopefully not too much. But at the same time, I would say in 2015, human beings want to be listened to. And our customers are no different. So it does require trust building. It requires genuine interaction and sincerity in the way we build those partnerships. These are strong beliefs and value that I have, and probably one of the main reasons why I've always, for a long time, been part of leading customer engagement, customer centricity, and strategic account management in the role I've occupied. Life has also unusual ways of bringing opportunities. So imagine a company that has part of its mission helping customer produce meat proteins in a more productive and efficient manner in the area of swine, poultry, and cattle by providing pharmaceutical product, vaccines, and solutions. This is part of the mission and the role that Zoetis has, which used to be Pfizer Animal Health, and as Bernard was explaining, was spun off. And who would have thought? Guess what? I am vegetarian. So I have to say that a lot of my colleagues at the leadership level are teasing me about the fact that I'm not contributing enough to generating the revenue of our company. We do also have business and companion animal, and I have a dog, so that's saving me. So all of that to say, I'm not aiming to go through my resume or anything like that, but what I've put up here is basically just my journey in this strategic account management, because it is a journey, certainly not a checking the box or an initiative. So between 2000 and 2010, I was part of leading strategic account management in Canada. Then at the end of that journey, between 2008 and 10, we basically built what I called an above-country group to try to expand also with those strategy and try to deploy to other countries. So we built a collaboration with, at that time, what we call PCANs, which was Pfizer, Europe, Canada, New Zealand. And then in 2010, I moved to Europe to head commercial and start my working in commercial operation, where I was in charge of commercial operation for Europe, Russia, India, and Turkey, but also held the global role of key account management and go-to-market strategy for the emerging markets, which were composed of 70 different countries. And then, as mentioned, I moved to animal health in 2013, where for EUF, I still lead key account management as part of my mandate, but also customer engagement initiative in this region. I'm not saying that I have answers to all the questions, certainly not. And this is certainly not the only route to the journey. But what I'd aim to do this morning is really to provide you my high-level journey in the pharmaceutical industry, mostly human, provide you also with some key learnings, critical success factor, and share with you a toolbox that hopefully will be useful also for you, and obviously focus on senior engagement and executive engagement and buy-in. So when I started in the industry, I was in the field, and we were seeing customer one by one, and it was a very linear interaction at that time. After that, for the ones that are coming from the pharmaceutical industry in the room, you probably will remember what I call the years of the marketing billboards. was the years when the pharma really flooded our customers with representatives, ending up having many reps seeing the same customer with the same product, very, very internally focused, very internally agenda focused. And we were there to promote our benefits, our product, but again, was very inward out. At the same time, technology was coming in, internet was being there, the use of information and also access to information was becoming a lot more easier. So if you look at, and I guess it's, not sure if I can point here, but if you look at the right-hand side, that's basically when, again, the environment became a lot more complex. If you look at the center of that graph, the consumer were having a lot more weight in the decision making. So we went from having physician making the sole decision for our product to having a very more complex environment where other stakeholders were emerging, like advocacy groups, pharmacists, media, private payer. But again, the consumer was becoming a big part of it. At the same time, the healthcare was changing in Canada. And, and the landscape was really evolving and becoming a lot more integrated. So our customers, basically our traditional customer, were working in more integrated structure. So the decision-making was becoming more complex for them. Our product were being more and more commoditized. There was a lot of similarities in the product and indication. And differentiating our field force was becoming harder and harder. So that's really when we started to rethink the way we were doing business and start really thinking about what the customer were facing, what they were needing, sorry. And that's when we started shifting. So what was the journey? Sorry. So basically, we started from really going from a transactional model to a more relational model. So move from product detailing to really being more personal customer relation, focusing on going from individuality to really starting to work in team, really starting to understand and try to understand the best that we could our customer needs and work in team and collaborate and started building those cross-functional team. We moved from doing to the customer to what I call doing with the customer, which is just one word change, but a huge behavioral change to be able to achieve that. We went from being very sales and number driven, not to say that it's not important today, but to include into that also the value of the relationship and becoming more relationship driven. It was also the years where we went from segmenting our customer on product usage to segmenting them on our overall portfolio. So again, shifting the way we were looking at our customers. We went from the quantity of customer interaction to trying to look at the quality of customer interaction. And with that, the challenge was how do you measure that? Again, it was a very different way of doing it. These acronyms after that means like going from share of voice, so that's making reference to the marketing billboards, to really having one point of contact for our customers and a single face for our corporation to each of our important customers. So that's when we started moving in the CAM area. And again, it was the years where our executive leaders were not really involved at the customer level. Like they were in big conference, they were in big event, but really to be part of an account team and own some of the action and be accountable for them was very new. So as I mentioned at that time when I was in Canada, it was also a big change in the healthcare, and the same was happening in many countries. And the integration was becoming a lot more prominent. So we were very good at providing clinical information, but our customers were facing different challenge. They were facing financial challenge because now, again, they were accountable for budget, which for physician was not necessarily their forte. They were facing organizational challenge. And we had a lot of experience in these areas. Coming from Pfizer, I have to say, with all the organizational change, we were gaining a lot of experience in these areas. So we needed to look at really what was motivating the decision. And again, looking at what our customer needs, what our needs were, and also what I call finding the sweet spot. Because again, being a key account manager is often perceived when there's a lot of pushback by providing everything a customer wants, and that's certainly not the case. Obviously, it's finding the sweet spot with both interest find a common ground. So we face challenge with that, obviously. That's why I always say that that journey takes passion. Engaging senior leaders was a critical one and a challenge that was ongoing. We needed to align on also a new language in the customer-facing and also the customer-supporting role. We were talking about customer centricity, key account management, value proposition. All of that was very new. And to enable us to be able to, again, to be able to answer our customer needs, our internal also customer, our internal groups needed to align on that same communication. We needed to align our key enabling departments to this. Because again, providing them a different view of what value could they bring to our customer, how could they be part of that value proposition? And last but not least, to achieve that, we needed to evolve our operating models in our organization. So how did we evolve in this area? We went from product to therapeutic area to partnering really in helping our patient in a more holistic manner in terms of helping them manage their patient flow. So we started by building a business case. When you talk about executive engagement, we looked at building a business case, and there was a lot of challenge and a lot of pushback in trying to advance. So we were able to do a pilot. So we built a separate organization, a pilot organization that was a CAM organization to be able to drive and be able to have the time to prove the result and the value of what we were achieving. You're probably going to say that that created another silo, and you're right. And it created also tension with what I call our traditional sales structure. But at the same time, the healthcare in Canada was evolving so quickly that it did enable us to really accelerate the capability and accelerate entrenching the strategic account management philosophy and the culture we wanted. And after 2 years, we were able to bring them back together. We were challenged on the return on investment a lot. I remember it was the years where I had my marketing colleague, my marketing lead in my office every single week, showing me market research about product recall, product retention, and telling me that customers that were seen by our CAM did not recall our product messaging. So they were not bringing return on investment, and they were expensive. And so we looked at doing what I call a customer voice to really start to be able to do that partnership that we wanted to create and bring that value. You have on the screen an example of that one of the first survey we did. So basically, we did an interview with a third party, not only on our corporation, but also on the competitors, where we asked many questions in different areas. This is basically just the executive summary. But we asked them what was our corporate reputation in their mind. Were we providing good experience and good service to them? Did we understand their working environment? Were we building good contact and also good partnership with them? We asked questions on our products, of course, but also on the way we were helping them building their team and their network. And were we good also at non-product offering? And that was very new because, again, it was very challenged not talking about what we were doing in those interactions. So there was many questions in each of those areas. So again, if you look at the right-hand side, these were the answers of our customers that were seen by our traditional reps. And as you can see, everybody scored exactly the same in all those areas. There was no way any company could differentiate themselves. We were perceived by our customer being exactly the same. If you look at the one in the middle, these are the answers from our customers that were seen by that pilot organization, so our key account manager. And it was also a surprise to us to see that in every single area, we were scoring significantly higher than any of our competitors, including the product area. So they were not scoring good on product recall studies, but they were certainly perceiving our product as being good and better than the competition. And it was not necessarily about this because, again, there was the years of being very commoditized, but we were bringing value. We did correlate that obviously with the revenue, and our accounts that were seen, or our customers that were seen by key account, were growing 8 to 10 times faster than the ones being seen by our traditional reps. So all of that to say that this was critical. That's the time where we were able to merge back that pilot that became part of the way we were doing business. And that's when we decided to go above country, start to collaborate with different countries. As you know, in the human pharma, we don't have global account. We have traditional, we have CAM and SAM account, but they're limited by the country because of regulations and because of all the laws. In the animal health, we do have some global accounts. So again, that was critical for us. So let me ask you one question to reflect upon. How do you get your customer feedback? How does your organization get valuable feedback from your customer on a regular basis? And then how do you use it to be able to engage your senior leader and sustain their engagement, which is even more important? I think that's a critical piece. And for us, it's been a continuous journey of doing it. And that's been a critical piece to maintain their engagement.